Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to Gran Turismo 3. We're back with another stream. Looks like we got pink names today in the YouTube chat thing, so looks like Streamlabs changes the color every time. Or there's something I don't know that got updated. So, anyway, we're back. If you remember last time we did the Rally License, another arcade section, and 2 challenges for Rally. We got 8 to go, so hoping to crank most, if not all of them today, so let's see how far we get. We got 2.5 hours. Looks like we got Crimson and Games X and F8 who are here, so welcome back everybody. And yeah, crazy stuff happened in F1 today, but I'll wait for the F1 crowd to get here before I talk about it. But it's a pretty good day, especially since it's the Russian Grand Prix, which normally doesn't give the spectacular results we all want to see, but let's see. And of course the last race was awesome, but that was 2 weeks ago. So, yep. Remember last time we won the Ford Escort and the Celica. We'll be using those two. Reached 100 subs. Congratulations. And yeah, just to go through it, we have these 8 events left. So we got the 2 rally tracks and then the reverse everything else, and then 2 special stage route 5 challenges. So some of these might take a while, but let's see. Yes, Russell, another amazing qualifying, but I mean that top 3, you gotta give it all to them. So
Don't they know I'm busy spoiling myself?
Karna F1, thank you very much for that. Welcome back. Oops, here. Your seat's here now, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much for that. So enjoy the new emojis. You'll like them. So awesome. So I just started the timer, so let's get right into our segments. So next part of our playthrough, and we're still in the middle of the Rally League. We have a new weekend, so I gotta use one of these 2 cars, and I think I'm gonna use the Celica. You know, we haven't driven this car ever, so let's just hop in, do our usual stage 2 turbo. Yep, and we'll buy it, but we won't install it. I had to think about that for a second, because I realized I was putting on 400 horsepower. But yeah, up next is Smoky Mountain, 3 races, you guys know the drill. First one's going to be easy, second one's going to be medium, and the third one's going to be where you need an upgrade. So yes, we all remember that SpongeBob moment, yes. Honestly, best 3 seasons in all of cartoons. So, we're against an Impreza Rally car, and it's the sort of, but not really 22B version. It's the 99, not the 98. So I know Snowtato will correct me if I get that wrong. But yes, it's the old version of the Impreza Rally car, but not the one based on the 22B. Another crazy F1 qualifying. So this is 3 laps as opposed to 2. So I believe this is going to be a 3-5-7 lap challenge. I better have 6 gears. Yes, we do. But yeah, Lando Norris finally gets a pole position. I mean, it was bound to happen, but it was great that it did. And he gets to join Carlos Sainz. And then George Russell, just honestly, Williams have the mastermind qualifying strategies these days. Gets 3rd on the grid, beating Hamilton, who had a really unnecessarily scruffy qualifying. Because he tapped the wall twice, once in the pit lane and once on his final lap. Very uncharacteristic, but is it starting to show cracks? I don't know, but Max got lucky. Max got very lucky. Tomorrow's a different day though. It might be rained out. We might get a dry race. We might get a turkey-like wet race. Lance Stroll could win. It looked like Lance Stroll was on for potentially sniping pole position because he was third at one point. But anything could happen. Mazepin could win his home Grand Prix for all we know. But I'd say don't count out Max. We're topping out at about 135 miles an hour in the Subi. Whoa, that's a send. Cribson's getting a lot of lag. This track, for speed at this, it's mostly full throttle. Oh, jeez. That's really like... That's really unfortunate. I'm sorry, games like that happens. 39, that's so young. That's so young. It's really like terrible how just like damaging everything is. Yeah, not the news anybody wants to hear. But we hope your family does we hope your family does well in the recovery process. But she's in a better place, you're right. Man, that's rough. That's like really... Yeah. I hit the wall. I'm trying to reach it and drive at the same time. One final corner. One more upshift and we take the first race. Yeah. That's rough. Rosalind's her name. Man, I don't know how to just continue. We have so much racing left to do, and oh, that's rough news to start with. But don't feel like anything was like your guys' fault or anything. The whole pandemic is just damaging. Yeah, I put on the Stage 2 Turbo. I suspected I might need it, and I think so. And then my big question is what's going to happen in Race 3? Do I need to tune this, do you think I need to tune the transmission? So what purchase am I going to make on Black Friday? Honestly, I have no idea. I'll probably buy Forza Horizon 5 if I haven't already at that point. I know it comes out early November and a few weeks after that, but we'll see. I think I will wait, not buy it on the launch day, just to see how it is on PC. But if it's simple to run, I'll probably buy it on Black Friday. I don't think it will go on sale digitally for PC though. And I don't have an Xbox Series Thanks, chat, for backing up GamesX. Yeah, I definitely capped on top speed. Yep, I heard that coming. The dive bomb. Yeah, pandemic really does suck. Someone from the asphalt community passed last year because of COVID. It's just really damaging. So I can't stress enough, like, if you guys are in a position to, like, you know, take action, you know, try to be clean, wash your hands, get vaccinated if you can, be mindful. But I know getting a disease, you can't, you know, stop it if it's, like, already there. But we just have to keep pushing through and keep, you know, taking action when we can. Yeah, I was with Seth. But not only yourself, but make sure that you tell, you know, your family and friends and stuff to also, you know, take appropriate action if you guys can. I know not every country either has the vaccine or is that far into good prevention techniques, but, you know, do what you can to stay safe. You're kind of wrestling this car, getting as much counter steer as you can. That was an awkward line, but let's keep going. Yeah. I forget if he was a Rev member. I thought he was RPM, but I don't remember, honestly. Which makes me sad, but, you know, there's so many people who are affected by it. Yeah, this game is great. That Subaru is just sending it. I am scared for the third race when he has an even bigger upgrade. We already have the stage 2 upgrade. I don't think there's much more we can do with this car. You want to play this game again? I recommend it. If you still have your PS2, or if you can get a good PC, definitely get this game, because it's worth playing. You don't have to 100% it and put 100 hours into it, but you can get a lot out of it. You can even do a, you know, modded save or something so you can get unlimited money and just drive all the cars you want, but honestly this game's really fun to just pick up from 0%. Do I think GT7 will be a bad game like GT6? Here he comes. I broke a little bit early, but it's trying to cover my line. So, I don't think GT7 will be... Like, here's my thing. I don't think GT6 was a bad game, but I do think it was the weakest Gran Turismo game. I don't think GT7 will be like that, because GT6 was basically an expansion pack for GT5, even in its own career mode. The best part about GT6 were like those unique missions, like the Moon mission and the Goodwood trials and the Senna challenge and the Sierra rally. You know, those side missions were the best part of GT6. I don't think GT7 is going to be like that, but I do think GT7 is going to be GT Sport with a career mode. That's my thing. I do think people are going to get disappointed when it finally releases. Yeah, GT3 is different graphics than the rest of the series because GT3 is kind of like Gran Turismo 1 in, I don't want to say high definition, but you get my point. With good, it's Gran Turismo 1 with the best graphics available, but it has a very similar physics engine to GT1 and 2. But yeah, I think GT7 is going to be fun. It'll be fun to play, but it will feel very familiar. It will definitely feel and drive like GT Sport, I think. And, you know, the car list and the tracks, I think, are pretty much 100% being carried over. We can tune the transmission, so I'm going to bump it up 2 ticks so I can get just a little bit extra top speed out of that. I feel like I'll need it. Is rubber banding in Rally League? I believe so. So we'll sacrifice a little bit of acceleration, but we'll have some better top speed. You can emulate GT3? Yeah, you can try it. I don't think it's the most complicated game to run. So at least now we have the top speed to fight. That was a wheelie. Now, we didn't do any upgrades to our car from round 2 to 3. But I don't know what the Subaru is packing. But it doesn't seem to be impossible to win, so let's roll with it. Yeah, it's a good time to pick up a PS4. I think Black Friday will actually probably have a lot of PS4s on sale. So, if you don't have a PS4, honestly now is a good time to get into it if you don't want to fork away too much money, because a lot of the new games are releasing on both PS4 and PS5, including GT7. You know the GT5 Prologue was in 2007. Of course I did. I have GT5 Prologue. You know, before I owned my PS3, my grandpa had, you know, the fat PS3, and he had GT5 Prologue because that was the only thing that would get me to come to his apartment and play it. Was the GT5 Prologue. But then in 2010, he gave the console to me and my brother, and that was the year GT5, the full version, came out, and that was a blast. I did see they fixed the CMOS battery, so preservation will be good. I don't know how the PS3 is doing in terms of CMOS bombs, but you know, we hope that it can be fixed. But yeah, I think GT7 is GT Sport, but with a sort of proper career mode. I don't know how long it will be. That's the one thing. I do feel like the weakest part about GT6 was how short its single player was overall. You can get through every license in under 10 hours. It's a short game. I think when I was going for the Platinum Trophy, the last trophy I acquired was the Autobahn, and I used the Red Bull X1 to farm somewhere around 1,000 or 2,000 miles. Here he goes. Big wall tap. But yeah, we don't know anything about GT7's career mode. And then the one thing I'm curious about, so GT7 plans to add cars and tracks as DLC. Or free DLC, you know what I mean. Is the career mode gonna get updated with it? Because GT Sport had its GT League, which was like a sort of career mode, but not really. And that's where you could see the new tracks and some of the new cars featured. But will GT7 be like an ever-expanding career mode? I feel like that might be the case. When GT6 was getting updated, every car and track combo was being added as a side challenge and not part of the main career mode. And we still are topping out in the rev limiter, but I think 147 miles an hour was the right amount. We're going wide. Here he comes. Man, he just sends it. Hey, I just do not know how to do that turn. And so the countdown sound effects for Gran Turismo, yep. They have been the same since 1997, and honestly, that is the one thing that should never be changed. That's a good way to stick to your roots, is to use the same, countdown timer. You've been doing it for 25 years, so why change it now? I think the only variation was they put Jay Leno's voice in the Gran Turismo PSP over the original countdown timer, which was kind of unnecessary, but hey, celebrities, am I right? And then I think on the Jeff Gordon challenge in GT5, his voice was over the countdown too. Yeah, the 2017 Mercedes car is in GT Sport. That's been there since like 2018. Will it come back to GT7? I have no clue. Probably not, because if I remember, the Ferrari F1 cars from Gran Turismo 5 couldn't return. But the F2007 from GT5 Prologue made its way into GT5 the full game. So, you never know. Mario the movie. Yep. With Chris Pratt, quote Mario. I think my favorite thing to come out of that announcement is the Jack Black as Bowser. They have pictures of Bowser and videos of Bowser, but they put in the audio from one of Jack Black's Tenacious D songs, Inward Singing. I recently learned that song's name. It's basically a skit, but it has every sound effect you heard in the YouTube poops like 15 years ago. All of them. So, if your parents aren't around, check it out on Spotify or YouTube. But don't say I'm the one who brought you there. But it's a piece of internet history. So First Blood's here. Your Zero Factorial. Yep, welcome back. Been a while. Hope all is well. We're going to do a handbrake spin. A little bit of rotation. Not quite as well as I would have liked to see it, but obviously not a fail, not a spin out. Much better than like Tahiti Maze a while ago. F1 cars, they're still in Asphalt 8. The 4 of them plus the MP4 X2. A little bit of wall tap, hopefully don't lose too much to the AI. I'm doing alright. I worked overtime last week and I just got paid for that yesterday, so I'm pretty hyped, so I'm gonna go shopping. My favorite track to watch in the world. Le Mans is pretty exciting because, in the 24 hours of Le Mans, there's always something going on. It's a legendary track. Monza, another legendary track. Endurance races, F1, you name it, they all go there. Spa. I know in F1, Spa has been kind of iffy the last couple of years, but Spa is also a legendary track that does endurance racing and whatnot. Silverstone. I'd say those 4 tracks are probably awesome to watch on. Nürburgring, I haven't watched the 24 Hours of Le Mans. It's obviously one of the best circuits in the world, but to actually watch, I don't know. I wouldn't think a lot of passing goes around. Anyway, we're on the final lap of this challenge, and we've been going for about half an hour, so if we do the math, if it takes half an hour to get through a challenge, we'll only get about 5 challenges done, and we have 8 to go, so we might need to push this to next weekend before we, cap it off. There we go. 5 days until Asphalt Extreme dies, yep. Honestly, that's pretty sad. I would have hoped that they would do, a future-proof update, but it's clear they're not doing that. The game's gonna die to obscurity. So, I'm just waiting for a hacker to go and dump the and hack the ROM so that you could play it online. Or you could play it offline, rather. What do we get for winning the event? Smoky Mountain. Ford Focus. Pretty neat. You know, in all the other racing games, Ford Focus is either white or blue. In this game, it's only white. But yep, another iconic WRC car. Let's take a look at it. Good old Focus rally car. All these rally cars are at 299 horsepower, which honestly makes sense. So, there you go. Game status is 58%. We are bumping up our win ratio. And that's the end of the segment. GT Sport, you need an internet connection to play most of it. I think only the arcade mode is playable without a connection. And with that, you can't say you can't save your progress. So the next one is Alps. So I think I'm gonna use the Escort. So next segment, back in our garage. We're just getting more rally cars, so it's just time to use the Escort. I think we're gonna pretty much go through all of them. So, you know the drill. Stage 2 turbo. This time a Stage 3 turbo is available. But I'm only going to buy the Stage 2. Why did I go back home? I don't need to do anything at home. And I'm picking the wrong menus anyway. My head's out of it, even though I just like 3 minutes ago was racing. Anyway, Rally of Alps. On Swiss Alps. There's a Peugeot 206 in that thumbnail, but I wonder if that's our actual opponent. So, nope, he's not the opponent. A rally car prototype is our opponents. And we could have used the Evo, but I don't, And did I accidentally? No, it's 299 horsepower. I didn't put on the turbo. So see ya, F8. So once the servers shut down, GT7 means... I think for GT Sport, yeah, you can only use the arcade mode. So... The scary thing is, we don't know what Polyphony's gonna do to GT Sport. They will shut down the servers next year. I am sure of that. Because GT 5 and 6 had their servers cut less than a year after the next game came out. In fact, within like 6 months of the next game coming out, the servers were closed. So, I would expect September next year is when GT Sport shuts down. So then the question is, what happens to the game? Because functionally, it needs an internet connection to save data. And the real scary thing is, if GT Sport does actually become unplayable... Whoa, thanks for the punt. If GT Sport does actually become unplayable, that means GT7 will probably suffer the same fate when the next GT game comes out. And that it would be a tragedy. Okay, GT7 is probably going to be the same as GT Sport in terms of driving, and the car and track list will be mostly the same, I bet, but, well, that was a punt. But, I don't know. They have to future-proof GT Sport. Enable the game offline where you could play GT League and all the challenges and stuff. And become a pretty short game. But it would at least be functional where you can, get all the cars. I don't know. I think on the pure basis of preservation, GT Sport should be future-proofed. And should be converted to a sort of offline format. Obviously, yeah, the sport mode would go away. And then it would take many years before somebody could figure out how to hack the game and, make it playable again. But yeah, I have a huge problem with online-only games because not every game gets the Club Penguin treatment, or the Need for Speed World treatment, or the Gran Turismo 5 treatment in recent years. You know, I'll take Club Penguin as a good outcome because Club Penguin shut down in like 2017, but then less than a year later, in fact I think actually only like a few weeks later, people ported the game 100% and, you know, created Club Penguin. I think it's called like Revisited or something like that, where they enabled on their own servers, they hosted servers, and you don't need to make an account, there's no memberships, all the games are still there, the music's still there, you can still chat with people online, it's a great time. That was a good outcome. But then, something like Gran Turismo 5, and that has a sort of good outcome. The game servers have been closed since 2014. If you start the game fresh, you cannot get the Platinum Trophy because there are 2 trophies, the Create and Share a Track and Create and Share a Photo, and it's that share part of the trophy that you can't do, which is unfortunate. So I, you know, had played the game before the servers closed, so I had those 2 trophies. So when I eventually went for Platinum earlier this year, I had everything I needed to be set up for the Platinum, and I achieved it. But that game is really hard to 100% because you need to do a ton of grinding. And back when the servers were online, they had bonuses and stuff where you can get a lot more XP a lot faster. Now, just a couple years ago, it's been discovered that if you install custom firmware in your PS3, there is a small community, small, but it exists, where they are hosting their own servers, and they have modded the game to include unreleased events. All the DLC cars are now available, and the multiplayer mode is back. Even I think some of the seasonal events were re-enabled, even though you can just add any car you want to your garage with the mod. It's great for online racing. I haven't done any of that because I don't have a modded PS3, but that option's available. You have to go explicitly out of your way if you want to play GT5 online. It's not as easy as just typing in Club Penguin, the new version, and just going on the private server like you can just hop on. But the option's there. I hope GT7's not the last Gran Turismo, but something that is going to be a topic of interest, I'm sure, is when Kaz retires. Because Kaz is like 50 right now, or like somewhere in his late 40s, early 50s, I think. Someone could have to double check on that. But, when will Kaz retire? It takes longer every time to make a new game. 12M is here. Welcome. Darkman's here also. I'm doing good. But yeah, I think if GT7 is his last game, GT8 might be. If they do make a GT8, I don't know. We have no idea what's going to happen to the series. He is 54. So, you know, not nearing death by any means. And you know what? Miyamoto is still around. And he made Super Mario Bros. In the 80s. So, if that means he can last 15 years longer than whenever Miyamoto retires, then that could be fine. But will Kaz have the same punch as someone like Miyamoto or Sakurai? You know, at their ages. Turbo is very weird on this car. Gran Turismo Ultimate, right? Every car is here. The thing is with GT, every game sort of, for the most part, builds off of each other. A lot of the cars are the same. You know, classic tracks make reappearances. There's a lot of real world circuits now that obviously return. But yeah, I'd imagine when the next Gran Turismo game comes out, he'd be like nearing 60. And he's still the head of Polyphony, but would he still be the head? You don't know. We have no idea. And then, of course, life isn't guaranteed for anybody. You know, we had Iwata, who passed away at a relatively young age, like 7 years ago. 7 or 8 years ago. And, you know, that was a shock for Nintendo. And they're still going on, but without his inputs. So, I don't know. Kind of morbid for me to say that. I mean, we have the games that he already released, and we can enjoy them. The one thing about GT3 and 4, which are, you know, my two favorite games of the series, I think they're the two best games of the series, they are just as playable right now as they were in 2001 and 2004. Or 2005. I spun. Alright, I gotta make a recovery drive. At least this wasn't the last lap. I did watch the Sochi, the Russian Grand Prix qualifying. It was really fun. Yeah, Rick May, the voice actor for Team Fortress 2, Soldier, he passed last year. And, you know, even my favorite show, SpongeBob, the voice actors are all getting, not old, but they're definitely not young anymore. And, you know, they have voices. How long can they keep performing? I think Squidward's voice actor is like 70 now. And, you know, Merry Man and Barnacle Boy have been dead for a while. So I don't know. But anyway, back to my original point. GT3 and 4 are just as playable right now, today, as they were when they first came out. I love GT5. I'd say it's one of the most underrated games of the series, but it is hard to pick up now from scratch if you never played it. You'll have a blast for like the first 20 levels, but then once you get to the point where you need to grind for endurances, which not everybody has the time for endurances, but you know, once you get to that point, if you're a completionist, it's really difficult and it takes forever without the servers. And then obviously you're missing the multiplayer part, you're missing the seasonal events, you're missing the DLC cars, the DLC tracks. So, and the same thing is with GT6. Although GT6 is a lot more playable and you can 100% the game, you're just missing the online. But yeah, GT Sport, it's scary. And GT Sport's not the only game that is online only. But, you know, it's a lingering question of what happens to this game after the servers are gone. Because it is a full mainline GT title. Yeah, it's not in the numbered series, but, you know, Forza Horizon is its own series, and now it's arguably has overtaken the main series. Forza Horizon is the main Forza series. Whenever somebody says Forza 4, they're talking about Horizon 4, not Motorsport 4. But Horizon 5 is going to be like the 11th or the 12th game of the franchise. If they called it Forza 12, that'd be different, but this is Horizon 5. Well, another, please play Asphalt 8. No. I play Gran Turismo 6. I haven't played GT6. I fired it up last year for a little bit to drive around, but I haven't like played it since gosh, like 2016. I know I streamed it in 2016 online, and that was when the servers were still up. I don't think I've like actually like played the events and stuff since like 2015. But I have 100% cleared that game. I have like almost 50 million credits that I just never spent. I've done every single challenge gold, even the Senna challenge, the X1 challenges. Yeah, Forza 7, Motorsport 7, came out in 2017. So, I think Forza Motorsport 8, or the reboot, whatever you want to call it, I think it's posted for 2023. Which is quite a while when you consider everything. It's probably going to come out Christmas time 2023, so like 2 years from now. Like, Horizon will already have had 2 games since the last Motorsport. taking it easy around this section. Yeah, Gran Turismo has the HD concept, which is this borderline between Gran Turismo 4 and GT5 Prologue. And the thing with that game is it was, in North America, download only. You can no longer access it, by the way. Only if you have it on your PlayStation account, which, unfortunately, I didn't have PSN in 2006, so... It was only like, 10 cars, 1 track, but it's still significant. But in Japan, physical discs do exist. They go for like $150 on eBay. I thought of picking one up for my collection, but they're really expensive right now, and I understand they'll only get more expensive as time goes on, but, I'm thinking of getting a modded PS3 so I can play the game, without the disc, and then also play GT5 online. But I haven't fully committed to that yet. But to buy a new PS3 would be like $100, which is, like the cost of the install disc. So it's a trade-off. You gotta do a cost-benefit analysis, as my boss would say. But yeah. Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, what happened to GTA? We're gonna have GTA 5 releasing when we're like 75 on the PS12 GTA 5 poo-poo update. I don't know. I will say this about GT7. GT7 will follow whatever GT Sport does. If GT Sport does, the right thing I would say to close GT Sport, which they will, the right way to close it would be to remove the required online functionality and make the game savable offline. Their whole reason for the online required save is to prevent hackers. Yet they still exist in the game. They're not as severe as, the previous games, obviously, but they exist. They do exist. The game's constantly updated to, curb that, but it's not perfect. So it just hurts the offline players. So, I don't know. They need to convert the game to offline. They need to make all the missions, the circuit experience, the GT League, the, everything of what is effectively a pretty short campaign. But they need to make it offline. Yeah, they can remove the, they can even keep the daily marathon, honestly. You could get to, 26 miles. They can find a way to make that enabled. It might be hard to make money in the game once servers close, but at least make it playable. So why don't I play Asphalt 8? Well, if you've been following the channel since 2018, you would know that I thought Asphalt 8 dropped off a cliff in 2018. It's been dropping off a cliff ever since, and the game, especially right now, is nowhere where it was in its peak competitively. Pretty much every top car is a reskin of each other, and you have to play and spend real money now to get any top car. So the whole point of collecting for your garage is kind of dead now, and the game's no longer fun to me. I've done, everything I pretty much wanted to do in Asphalt 8. I've done top 1 in CLEs. I've, driven all the best cars of their time. And, I was in prestigious teams like Rev, HPA, with my own Asphalt friends. And then I eventually joined Leeds United and subsequently RPM for Asphalt 9. I got everything I wanted to get out of the game. And competitively, the game's completely dead. Yes, there's still some alien players, a new generation of people who are incredibly skilled at the game, but they pay so much and they grind so much that I just do not have the time to grind it. I work full time. I don't have time to grind a mobile game. That's also why I left Asphalt 9. Part of the reason. So Rev Death's here. How am I doing? Doing pretty good. You know, as most of you know, but I'm sure, you know, a lot of you are, you know, tuning in for the first time in a while. You know, I work full time during the week. I have my weekends. But, you know, when people say, oh, you're losing subs, you're losing views, like, honestly, I don't care. This channel could crash and burn, and you know what? I don't really care. I don't want to be a super celebrity. You know, you look at what all the stress, you know, every celebrity goes through. Like, you know, Carl Jobst, the guy who does speedrun videos. He was in a lot of drama the last 2 weeks because, you know, there was the drama with him and our White Goose, I think his name was, where, you know, he's labeled like a racist and all that. And then he was doing a podcast that got cut off, and then, you know, he got Twitter canceled, and then he had to make a response. People are digging into him, and, you know, I'd say that he's one of the more tame people that have been, you know, internet canceled. There is no way I'd want to take on, not that I have any, like, career-ending things, obviously, on my back, but there's no way that I want to put up with the stress that an internet celebrity goes through. So if my channel dies of obscurity because I played the games I wanted to, I don't care. I am securing the bag at home. I don't need YouTube for income, so I play what I want to play because I like it, not because I need to earn money. I am an actuary full-time, and that is my #1 source of income. I do still make a tiny bit of income on YouTube, but that is basically chump change. And, you know, I use it to buy video games and stuff. So, you know. Of course I still like pop into Asphalt because I'm still interested and I want the game to do well because, you know, it's part of my childhood. But, yeah. Asphalt 8's going downhill. So we just can just watch the fireworks, I guess. Whoa, that was a lip. Yeah, that was bad. And Subaru's caught up. We always say, oh, the game's going to be dead within a year, and then somehow it keeps going further down without fail. Well, with fail, but you know what I mean. Jugging water, driving one-handed. But yeah, Asphalt 9 going down a similar path. And Asphalt's buggy, too, nowadays. Both games are super buggy and not as polished as they were when they came out. Asphalt 8, why is it still so difficult to run on a good, you know, device? Why are we still trying to find... Why is it still where you can only play the game well on a brand new phone or with Android KitKat level devices? Why is it still like that? Why can't they actually optimize the game to run well on PC? Alright, here comes another lip jump. Asphalt 10 comes, will I play it? Yeah, I'll probably play it, but I don't think I will grind. I don't think I will ever grind a mobile game again. I will play it, but I will not grind it. That's the thing. I just don't have the time to grind mobile games. You know? We already seen Gran Turismo 3 is a grind in itself to get through all the events, but you know what? This game is fun. And... yeah, Gran Turismo will feel stale towards the end, especially when we get into some of the really long races, but Gran Turismo 3 has an end goal. There is an end to it. There is a 100% point where you do everything there is to do. And then you're done. You move on and you do whatever game you gotta do next. I probably will not touch this game for multiple years after I 100% it. Just like how I did 100% playthrough GT4 3 years ago, I have not touched the game since 2018. And I will not immediately touch it after Gran Turismo 3 because I don't want to burn out on one series, especially when GT7 is about to come out. I do not want to burn out on my favorite series right before a brand new game comes out. So I will say GT Sport is probably done adding new events. I think maybe a couple cars come in here and there, but I think we are done with you know, the whole new events, a batch of 12 cars. So anyway, that was race 3. I want to get a good thumbnail shot, so I'm going to let the replay run for a minute until I see something I like. Yeah, honestly, S-Play and GTA 5 are pretty similar when you think about it. They both came out in 2013, and they've both been running for way too long. That's a good shot. Okay, probably not going to get a side-by-side shot of the Escort, but that's what we're doing. What are we going to get for winning? Hey, look at 206. That was the thumbnail car. That was the thumbnail car at the start. So, there we go. Look, they actually do advertise the prize. That one they advertised the Corolla, which obviously is nowhere near there. So, Rally of Alps, done. So, let's take a look. Peugeot 206. Very Peugeot-y. I think this was a championship winner in 2000, so there you go. Game status is 58.5%, and that's the segment. So yeah, we're just getting all the rally cars. I'm eventually going to have to leave out one, but I haven't decided what it's going to be yet. But I have something special planned for the last 2 rally races, so yeah. Next segment. So we have to do the tracks we did last time all over again, except in reverse. So I think Tahiti's next, so I actually think let's drive 206. Just get it over with. Yeah, I never liked this car as a kid, and I still don't think it's the best looking car, but you know, I respect it for being successful in rally. So let's do our usual, slap a turbo. That one gives it a lot of power. And yeah. Next up is Tahiti Rally 2, which is basically the same thing as last week, except in reverse. So every track we just played, we gotta do it all over again. So yeah, we're probably only gonna get through 2 or 3 events. I plan to go to like 12 p.m., which is like an hour and a half from now. So that's like, yeah, 3 events to go today, unless I can suddenly blaze through all the events. But, you know, I have stuff to do today. Anyway, this thing gets a nice 300 horsepower, not 299. Look at that, we're driving against the Escort, what we just drove. And back to the 2, 3, and 5 lap format. So there we go. Asphalt 10, you do have a point, the Asphalt 10 will probably be the best when it first releases, so that'd be the time to play it. But the way I'd probably experience it is I'd play, you know, the first 2 hours before it gets really grindy, and then stop. But, you know, drive every track, drive the cars I can drive, and then be done with it. Don't go for that Ferrari, or don't go for that Bugatti or Koenigsegg, you know, just stop. Distance, yeah, Distance is a really fun game. So what's your favorite car? Yours is the SLR McLaren. Is this favorite car overall or favorite car in like a game? Because my answers are different for every, you know, scenario. My dream car overall is the Ferrari F355 Berlinetta. Yeah, the music is great. It's such a unique soundtrack, or OST rather. So we're just chugging along. This car's pretty quiet. Pretty much only hear the tires. Was the new Nissan GTR announced? I have no idea. Like the R36, there's another R35 variant. Favorite car overall, yeah, the 355. And then, in terms of race cars, I'd say the Mazda 77V. One of my favorite vehicles of all time. And it's definitely one of the most iconic race cars ever. Big jump. I'm wondering if on race 2 we should not use the turbo and just try to see what we can do stock. Oh, race 1's done. Nice and short. Do you want to see my reaction? What am I going to do? A whoa face? No. No. What, do you want to see me laugh at it? I've done that enough. Want me to do the two-hand, oh my god, thumbnail shot for that when I'm opening it up and see it? No, the game's, you know what's going to happen? The game's going to lag, the game's going to crash, I'm going to see something incredibly depressing that they removed, and I'm going to load up a race and you guys are going to see 3 frames per second, just like last time. So, yeah. So you know what? Let's try this, since I'm bored and we've been blazing through Rally League. Let's try this without the turbo. It's only 3 laps, so let's see what we can do. We did it once before. Obviously the Escort's going to be faster, but let's see. Do the pog face. I already did that. You guys have a emoji on Discord for that. Eugene, welcome. How's life? It's going pretty chill. You know, just playing some games, grinding, you know, during the week. So yeah, the Escort's gonna be so much faster down the straight. Whoa, that was a jump. That's the money shot. So basically he's going to be faster in this section, and then we got to take him in the corners. Stop sign. Get as close as well as we can. I'm pretty sure we touched the inside, but oh well. lap 1's gone pretty well. But yeah, since this track doesn't have too much straightaway, we just have to, you know, carry our momentum in the corners. So wait, all-time dessert. Are you saying like my favorite dessert? Because I'd have to say ice cream. If you don't like ice cream, then what is wrong with you? I am joking. If you're lactose intolerant, then that's unfortunate, because ice cream is one of the greatest inventions ever made by humans. Especially chocolate. Cheesecake is also great. I agree. Whoa, that's a jump. That's a yeet. Escort's back again. But he didn't pass me. Why do I like this game with crappy graphics? And then you say play Asphalt 8. Man. You do not appreciate. This game is 20 years old and I'm playing on a PlayStation 2. That's smaller than the size of an iPad. This game came out in 2001. So, by modern standards, I don't think there's a single game, except for Gran Turismo 4, that graphically holds up today. Except this game is gorgeous. Even for modern standards. The charm, looking at a 2001 game, this was the best in class. This is one of, for 2001, one of the best graphically, one of the best games graphically. This game, Metal Gear Solid, you know, Ratchet and Clank, Silent Hill, you know, all the stuff that came out around this time. They were all top class in graphics. Let's take a look at other PS2 games from this era. No hatred. Why do I play this game? Because it's fun. It is one of the few games that have aged well in driving. If you play any other classic race game, like play an old Need for Speed, like really old, like 90s and early 2000s, the controls will feel weird. Handling will be stiff, the brakes don't seem to work. AI could be pretty unfair at times. A lot of dependencies on certain buttons that, you know, it's hard to find a good controller these days. This is one of the few games where the controls are easily pick-upable. Yes, I'm good at this game. I can do all golds, but anyone can pick up this game and figure out how to drive. It's that simple. Alright, I'm gonna get my thumbnail shot in this race. Let's see if I can get a good thumbnail shot. That one's not bad, you gotta zoom in a little bit. But yeah, look at this replay. These graphics for 2001 are some of the best. And I'm dead serious about that. So, this game is partly a nostalgia trip, and partly just a good game experience, honestly. They just don't make games like they used to anymore. I hate to sound like a boomer, but it is kind of true. It's pretty true. Games nowadays are loaded with microtransactions and predatory, you know, monetization, updates, content maps. Even modern GTs are guilty of it. Whoa, I love that thumbnail. I'm gonna do something with that. I'm gonna do something with that. That might be a stream thumbnail. That might be... that video. Ooh, That might be that video's thumbnail, but I'm gonna use that somewhere. This game came out on PS4 being nostalgia. Well, how so? The thing with GT, like I said before, is every game kind of expands off each other. So GT7 is sort of like GT1, but better. We're gonna slap the turbo on. Because now we need it. Yeah, if you're coming off the 90s, the PS1 and N64, this game came out less than a year after the PS2 came out. There was nothing like it. So I don't know. If this game was ported to PS4, and just, you know, they upped the resolution and changed the textures, then it'd be great. But it will never happen. We will never see a remake or remaster of one of the classic GTs because, well, Polyphony are trying to make the next one. And this game was primarily designed for controllers. It had wheel support, but nowadays all the GTs are best experienced on a wheel. I'd argue this game's best experienced on a controller, although I haven't tried a wheel with this game. But the way the physics engine is, that's a yeet. The way this game's physics engine is, I imagine it'd be pretty tricky with the wheel. Yeah, all the veterans left Asphalt 8. Nobody from the 2016 era still plays. Nobody. I have my sub box. Everybody who played Asphalt 8, grinded it out when I was grinding it out, have all left the game. And even play Asphalt 9 still, but even then it's mixed at best. Taking out all those cones just because, you know, I didn't like those cones. Going pretty wide. This car is harder to drive because we have more power. Upgrade the Toyota Pod. Do we have the GT meme community in here yet? Because I noticed there's like the Tyron GT posting, which has this silly stuff that all the kids love with Gran Turismo 4. And you know what? It's harmless fun. But, and then there's the BK4 community, obviously. That's kind of big. But I'm wondering if we'll ever hit that community. Whoa, that's a yeet. I feel like I'd have to make a few GT memes. And then post them around Reddit and stuff to get noticed. Isaac is Aguila, and I think he grinds both games. I know he grinds Asphalt 9, but I don't know if he grinds Asphalt 8 still. But yeah, if you want your guys, honest answer of why Asphalt 8 is dead, look at who's left from the original community. Nobody. We all left for pretty much the same reason. Because the game is dead to us. Like, there are kids who are playing video games right now who are younger than Asphalt 8. They might find it in the App Store and think it's real cool and see its huge car list and think it's really impressive and have fun with it. But then once they get to, like, you know, the actual meat of the game and realize its actual content, yeah. But in order to play Asphalt 8, you need to farm so much credits, so much fusion coins. Tokens are pretty much impossible to get now. You know what's weird? My top 5 ways to get free tokens have all of a sudden, that video is getting a lot more views lately because of how hard it is to get tokens in Asphalt. People who are still playing that game want to know how to get free tokens. And I think every single one of my methods, besides obviously don't spending and saving, every single one of those methods is obsolete because they've removed the features. They removed pretty much all the tokens from Mastery. They removed Championship Mode. They removed grinding the TLEs. There is pretty much no way to earn multiple tokens, especially like 10,000, without outright buying them. And yeah, the majority of Asphalt 8's Garage, if you're starting out new, is inaccessible unless you literally fork over like $100,000, honestly. And at that point, like, you just join the people who have modded and hacked the game, because the game is full of hackers. It is ridiculously easy to get, illegitimately, every car in the game. Carter impeded Stroll, but they only get a warning. Well, because, okay, well then that's it. That's honestly the best outcome they could have hoped for. No grid penalty. A reprimand is an official warning, basically. It's, if you get like 2 or 3 reprimands in a season, you get like a grid penalty. It's a pretty minor penalty, all things considered. I don't think anyone's actually like gotten full-on punished for having too many reprimands. No penalty points. Whoa, I dropped it. Where's the escort? The escort is so far behind that that mistake means nothing. The stage 2 turbo is actually overpowered. Remember that first race where we just absolutely left the other guy in the dust? I think it's the AR week on this track. Only get 500 tokens a month. Like, do the math. That is 6,000 for a year. A year. Like, you guys realize, like, a year is like a % of your life? You have to actually give a whole number % of your life to grind for one car in Asphalt if you're going to buy it with tokens. Like, think about that. Think about that. I've spent effectively 15-20% of my life grinding Asphalt. But a year, it's a long time, but also not really, but it's a chunk of your life. And I used to play Asphalt 8 every day, and Asphalt 9 every day. I played Asphalt 8 throughout all of high school. I played Asphalt 9 through all of university. I quit Asphalt 8 because I was too busy with Asphalt 9, and then I quit Asphalt 9 because I was too busy with life. But yeah, we did race 3. And honestly, that didn't take too long, only 20 minutes. So what's our prize? Cruising Blast. We get a Corolla. Okay. I think Carlos Sainz drove this car. Carlos Sainz Sr. Obviously. Carlos Sainz in F1, his dad. Cruising Blast. It's like Cruising USA, right? The old N64 games. I've seen the cover art for it. I haven't seen what the actual game's like. Yeah, Corolla. Not everybody's go-to car, and I think this is a pretty ugly version of the Corolla, but it's a car. So there you go. 59.1%. That's the end of the segment. Yeah, that's my least favorite car in the bunch of rally cars. It's just ugly to look at. So, alright. Next segment is Tahiti Maze. And ugh, I would have wanted an Evo by this point, but I don't have an Evo, so I have to choose between the Focus and the Corolla. And I'm thinking, jeez, I wanted to use the Focus for Swiss Alps, but I actually think I'm gonna use it for Tahiti Maze. Let's get in it. I would have preferred the other ones, but let's just do it. Let's go racing. Not endurance. So yeah, Tahiti Maze 2. We got Corolla just staring us in the face. Get right into it. Yeah, the Lancer 6, Evo 6 rally car is our opponent. So then the 99 Impreza rally car would have been the car I would have wanted to use. But I would have hoped we would have gotten the Evo 7 by this point. I think the Evo 7 comes in during one of these rally races. I think we're going to double dip with the Evo 6 and the Impreza Rally Car prototype. I think both of those are prize cars at some point during this game, during the Rally League. So in those two races, you know, we'll be using some of our other prize cars. So this car is tall. Feels weird to say that, but that is how it's like. Alright. This is a long track, but at least the laps are short. Sort of PTSD from R6. It's the reverse of R6 though. It was actually a difficult race, even for stock. What'd you miss? Well, you missed us going through rally. We had the 99 Impreza rally car as our opponent in Smoky Mountain, so I had to explicitly clarify that it's not the 22B. So hope you're happy. No, we did Smoky Mountain, Swiss Alps, and then Tahiti 2. This is Tahiti Maze 2. So we got, after this series, we have 4 left in the whole Rally League. And I don't think we will finish, I think we'll do 2 challenges after this one. So basically we'll get up to the other rally tracks, but we won't get up to the Route 5 challenges yet. I'll save that for next week. Because I was planning on using an unorthodox car for those series. So we actually have to try and pass him. We've been hanging out behind him for the whole race, and I gotta make a move. Cover the inside. Did he spin out? I think he spun out. I think he spin-out'd. He spin-out'd. I didn't catch him, but I think he messed up. He spun out. It's too late in the race for me to go to the replay and see exactly what happened, but he spun out. And now Rubber Band, he's gonna fly, so watch. He was 8 seconds behind there. He's probably gonna be like within 4 or 3 when I cross the line. DRS and Gran Turismo. The overtake, some cars do have a push-to-patch system. It's like the Tomahawk and the, I forget what else, but there's a couple cars in there that have a DRS. The Super Formula cars have DRS. And the Mercedes F1 car has DRS. You just have to go in a straight line. So yeah, we're from 8 to 6.7 seconds. That's a good shot. Look at those banners waving. Graphics. Alright, I'm not gonna watch that cutscene. But we got lucky with the spin. Team Fortress 2. Heavy go Plutus. Dude, when you can recognize an entire lineage from one word. Gentleman. The sub alert still works, so there you go. Alright, I'm putting on the turbo. Any Capcom games I'm looking forward to. God of War Ragnarok, 100% God of War Ragnarok. I'm going to buy that game on launch. Completely something that's out of left field for me. I've never played a God of War game on the channel, but I played through the whole series last year and 2 years ago, throughout 2019 and 20. Great series. So, I definitely recommend it. I definitely am going to get the new game when that comes out. I've been meaning to play Cyberpunk. I have it on my shelf. I picked it up when it was $10 at Best Buy. I still haven't taken it out of the plastic to install it. I'm waiting for the PS5 release. Can you spam? Well, are your messages even coming up in the Streamlabs thing? I don't even notice that. Just blank. Yeah, God of War, I loved the PS4 game. But honestly, the PS3 games, PS2 and PS3 games, and the PS4 game, even though they're significantly different, they're all really enjoyable. He asked if he could spam, so he's probably like, you know, typing in space and, you know, answering nothing. I don't think the rules are in the description, are they? I forgot to put them in. It's been $10 at Best Buy on console. I have it on console. And, you know, that was the best price because the Steelbook. But I just haven't installed it. I haven't even taken it out of the, I haven't even taken it out of the wrapping. I've been meaning to play it, but honestly just haven't gotten into it. And then I eventually have to pick back up Breath of the Wild. I haven't touched it in a few months. I know I'm so late on the Breath of the Wild train, but, you know, probably should beat it before the second game eventually comes out. But it's a long game, and I still have no idea what I'm doing when I'm playing it. Wow, do we have an alternate account, or is it just we got a Sarah here who just wants to spam? Hop in. I don't know if it's a bot or if it's a human. I don't know, I'll let James decide what to do. No, I think it's a person hitting space and enter. Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, I've heard that game is really good. You know, the Spider-Man games, I'm waiting for patiently I'm waiting for the next Marvel Spider-Man. I played Miles Morales and I loved that game. Honestly, the PS5 launch games, there were a few, but with what I had, which was Bugsnax, Miles Morales, that Astro Player, whatever it was called. There's one more that I had too. I don't remember. There was Breakfast, obviously, but that was the driving game. But I enjoyed the games I did have when the PS5 first came out. Bugsnax took me by surprise. It's a pretty calm game, all things considered, where you just catch bugs a la Pokemon. You are Robert Kubica driving a rally car. Well, hope not, because he did not do too well in rally. Let's say. Now a movement. Grosjean is going to Andretti Racing. Yeah, it's a huge deal because he's driving for a top team now. I know Grosjean hasn't won a race yet, but could he be a title contender next year? I know the IndyCar finale's this weekend, and I think Alex Palou is the favorite to win it. He's only got to finish like in the top 8 or something like that to win the title. And then Pato O'Ward has to finish on the podium at least to get a chance. But it's IndyCar and anything could happen. Bugsnax was free when the PS5 first came out, so you didn't have PS Plus, oof. But if you have the PS5, get the PS Plus collection and play the PS4 games that are on there, because there is a quality selection, I must say. Really quality selection if you haven't played them. So there we go. But yeah. Bugsnax is a game, you know, don't pay $20 for, but it will be ridiculously cheap. And it's honestly a fun game. It's a really relaxing game. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and likewise, you shouldn't take it seriously. It's just a really good game to like relax to, enjoy the music, enjoy the characters, the plots. It's actually a decent plot. Which one's better, the debit or the credit card? Well, that's a pretty left field question, but I will answer that because I have both. A debit card is better for if you are bad at keeping track of, you know, your money coming in and out, because the money comes directly out of your account. You don't have to worry about, you know, bills or interest. You just have to make sure the money is available in your account, and you just use the debit card and it just instantly comes out. With a credit card, the money doesn't instantly come out. It's billed to an account that you have to pay at the end of every month, or at the end of your statement date, rather. And the pro is if you pay it off every month fully, and I have to stress that, fully, pay it off fully, not the minimum payment, but pay it fully. You will not only bump up your credit score, but a lot of credit cards have no annual fee, and they will give you points, usually like 1 or 2%. But they will give you points for every time you spend on it, and they'll give you multipliers for if you spend on gas or restaurants or something. And the points you can redeem for gift cards or cash or, you know, statement deposits. And, you know, it's extra money. It's like getting a discount, sort of, but really it's like getting a bonus. I use it to get Chipotle gift cards because The way the points are is like, it's $45 worth of points for a $50 gift card, and you know, it's like free Chipotle kinda. And it's not just Chipotle, it's like, you know, Best Buy, GameStop, Amazon even. If you have a retailer, it's probably on the points list, at least for what I use. I use Chase, which, you know, big bank, scary, but I mean, it works for me. So, how I purchase is I use primarily my credit card. If I'm making a purchase of anything that's more than $5, I use the credit card. And I just pay it off immediately as soon as it posts to my statement. I don't even wait to the bill. I just immediately pay it off. So I treat it like a debit card, sort of, except, you know, I have to do the part of taking the money out of my account. So, yeah, I use the credit card to make my purchases, and then I earn points and I buy Chipotle gift cards with it, so that's just the way it goes. But a debit card is great if you just want to get it over with. I usually do it for extremely cheap purchases. Yeah. Credit cards are also better, yes, better for online too, because you can dispute charges on a credit card easier since they're posted to the credit card statement. Whereas if you get, you know, scammed with your debit card and the money comes directly out of your account, that is a lot harder to recover. So yeah, never use a debit card online. Always use a credit card or a PayPal. But PayPal is basically a credit card. It's just an extra step. So I'd actually recommend getting both if you can. I think you need a minimum balance in your checking account in order to get a debit or a credit card, but if you have a job or a part-time job, it shouldn't be too hard to save up just enough to meet the minimum balance. And then of course you can do stuff like credit unions and stuff. I don't know what your guys' country all have, but I'm sure there's something where it works that way. The biggest thing is if you pay only the minimum and not the full amount, interest accumulates crazily. Some credit cards are like 20% on their interest rate, and that accumulates a lot over a period of a couple months. It's incredibly dangerous, and you can get yourself into thousands of dollars of unnecessary debt if you are not careful with paying off your credit card. So, you know, it's a trade-off. You gotta actively balance your money, but the rewards are great if you can handle it. So, there you go. Financial advice from Lucas. And I know nowadays it's everyone has to say, oh, not financial advice, but no. As a person who has both a debit and a credit card, from my personal experience, I'd recommend getting both and being financially responsible. It's not too complicated to do it. But I would recommend getting a credit card and debit card with the same bank, because it just makes it easier to take money in and out. You don't have to, but that's what I do. I have a Chase checking account, and then I have a Chase debit and credit card. So that's what I do. Makes it all pretty simple. So there you go. You didn't think you'd receive financial advice, but there you go. Now watch me get sued by the SEC for like exchange fraud or something because I accidentally revealed something about credit cards. So who's more trustworthy, Visa or MasterCard? I personally have Visa, and I haven't had any issues with them. I think it all depends on the bank. Yep, I have the Chase app. It makes it really easy. It's just really easy to manage because I have everything on my phone. I have direct deposit for my job, so I don't even have to cash checks physically. It just makes life easier. And I know people, will argue about the ethics of a big bank, but they're successful because what they do works. So, take it at that. If you use a local bank or a credit union or something, there's advantages, but, if you're going to be out and about, I got my bank account when I went to university, where I was, traveling to and from home to, college a lot. So I need a big bank so I can use my account anywhere. I just explained Else Kitten, yeah, how it works. Beluga, yeah, the guy who makes all the Discord edits. I know his channel has like absolutely exploded recently. And before somebody asks about how to rob a bank, well, you see, what you gotta do is you play GT 2000's soundtrack at full volume, and that will intimidate them to give all the money in their vault to you. There you go. Now watch me actually get arrested for saying that. Yeah, you're right, Kitten, pretty much. Credit is going into short-term debt. Because the bank takes your purchase and then they send you a bill to pay it back. And there's no interest on the first month. So you pay it back in the first month you make the purchase. That's how it works. And yeah. Step 1 done. Thanks for watching. Top 10 Ferrari strategies. Thanks for watching. Except Ferrari actually had a good qualifying strategy today. We're putting all these tracks to bed. Tahiti Maze is up next. Don't spin like I was with the Impreza. Williams' big brain, indeed. Final corner, give it a good drift. That's gonna be our fastest lap? I have no idea. No. Just off. Alright, Tahiti Maze done. We gotta get a thumbnail shot, you know the deal. Let's do it, like, towards the beginning of the race. Yeah, Williams' strategy. Imagine Alex Albon, world champion next year because he took Russell's seat. That was not bad. Ooh, I like that. Not good for a thumbnail, but it's a good camera shot. A lot of still camera shots here. I like that one. Oh yeah, we never really looked back. I'm gonna get one more shot for the turn. Alright. What's our prize car? It's boxy. There you go. It's the not 22B Impreza Rally car. But it sort of looks like a 22B. Finally, I've been waiting to get that car. I think we'll drive it next in that one. Alright. Been waiting to get this car. Finally. 555 Sonic Blue Mic, looking thick. This is one of my favorite rally cars ever. Anyway, 59.7%, 68 cars, almost there. That's the end of this segment. Alright, I'm gonna save the game and then I gotta run to the bathroom, so I'll be right back, but I will put the game on Subaru so you can look at it. Richard Burns Gaming. Squidward Gaming. I'll be right back. Subaru. Alright. Well, next segment, and I think this might be the last one, I'm not sure. We'll see how we feel. But we just got this Preza Rally car, 99. I gotta drive it. Finally a car that I want to see. I know I just like driving the Focus, but I think we only got two options here. I think to make things interesting, let's buy both the Stage 1 and 2 Turbo, since I like this car, so let's buy them both, because I have a little bit of excess money. But not install them. We'll use stock Race 1, Turbo 1 Race 2, Turbo 2 Race 3. We're going to do Smoky Mountain 2. It's got our rally car in the thumbnail, so there we go. You know the drill. Let's hop in. So, hey, look at that. A Corolla is our component. It's what I would have used if I didn't get this car. But depending on the price card, I might not use it at all. Let's see. I'm going to leave the top speed as is and see how it goes. But let's see. Our late 90s charge. Here we go. Again, you gotta tell me these graphics look bad? No, they don't. They're absolutely gorgeous. Sky, even though it's a skybox, it's just a skybox. It's gorgeous. The colors. This is just great. The jump. Not much of a jump right now, but once we put the turbo on, who knows what's gonna happen. I have driven the Escudo with that jump, but I imagine that would also be pretty extreme. Whoa, that's a jump. Almost had a good corner. Build some speed. Controller goes wide. Pretty quiet race, all things considered. Let's go to drive this car. I think this was the only rally car in Gran Turismo 1. At least the 97-98 version. And obviously more joined its company once GT2 came out. So this is Gran Turismo Royalty we're looking at. Race 1. Done. Pretty close race overall. We're getting our money back. Good thumbnail shot, but maybe not the one I want to see. The sub 20 hit 120 has been delayed. We'll definitely get a sub 120 on this lap because we have the turbo stage 1. Now we're matching what the AI does. This would be good for the thumbnail. Back on and give me a push. Control had a better corner than I did. Oh, bad last corner. Random Wittenberg, Germany. Where is that? Is that where you're at, or is that where this track's at? The 116.5. I know we have the upgrade on, but it's a sub 120. Big yeet. Dropping into 5th gear, and then just don't touch the gears at all for the next 30 seconds. In fact, don't even touch the brakes. This whole section is flat out. Still flat, all the way up to this turn. And try to go as close as possible without touching the wall, which I just did. It's the setting of Smoky Mountain. There we go, no wall tap. I just gotta make sure we don't mess up the last corner. It's a little bit easy there, but let's see if it pays off. Oh yeah. 15-3. Alright. Well, immediately know I won't be improving on this lap because we messed up the first corner. You gotta like jump drift, like it's Trackmania. But speaking of Trackmania, has anybody seen the absolute chaos that is the tassing with the nose bug, as it's called? So you had the nose, or the nose boost is what it's called. Nose bug is what we all knew existed, where you could like flip your car in a certain direction. But what the testers have figured out is if you spam the directional buttons when you're nose bugging, you can nose boost, which like pretty much instantly brings your speed to 1,000 kilometers an hour. And you can do some crazy map movements, and the testers are completely broken. The game is completely destroyed. Any record that had thought of existing is now demolished on a normal route. Even AO1, which seemed like an unbreakable track, now has a nose boost route. So, yep, driving the old school Impreza. That's when he got this run. Said that in Virtual's voice. So crazy how Virtual pretty much single-handedly has brought the entire Trek media community into an existence. Alright, I'm gonna get a thumbnail shot on this race. Just on that first part of the track. Let's see if there's any good camera shots done by Polyphony. I want some close-ups. That one's not bad. A little dark though. Ooh, I like that one. Nice. This is where it breaks off a little bit. Alright, now I think we're in the clear. Okay, well I got my thumbnail shots. Let's keep going. Alright, Smoky Mountain. Last race, time to put this track to bed. But yeah, Trackmania, completely broken now. It's a shame Riolu was guilty all along, because it would have been crazy to see him tackle some of the tasks. But if he was really cheesing all along, then it's a shame. I looked up to him when I was younger. I thought he was the best, but it turns out a lot of his records were cheated. That's a shame, because I've seen his live streams. He's capable of doing records live, and he's done it before. But not all of them. Anyway. Using Linux, they're working. My car is the fastest it will be. We'll probably hit the top speed limiter too. And he's got to blaze through 7 laps. Still full throttle through that section. Now a lot more power delivery on these exits. Now we gotta brake and turn considerably for this turn. Now we get some actual airtime there. Should we yeet it on the first corner? Might as well, early in the race. Let's see how much airtime we can get, just for fun. Let's see. Ooh, jeez. Classic Gran Turismo wall ride. We even tipped there a little bit. But this game will not let you roll over. Yeah. A lot of you, if you have a PS2, you probably have this game. And if not, it's dirt cheap. I've seen it for $1 at retro game shops. 99 cents. Go pick it up. It's more expensive to have the gas to drive to a retro game shop than it is to actually buy this game. So, I feel like we went a little way too fast there, so I'm going to drop it a little bit so that we can, you know, null out our advantage we got from wall riding, because I want to genuinely get a fast lap. Alright, now that we did a bunch of wiggling, let's see if we can beat this time legitimately. Whoa. A little bit of the front lift, that's going to kill the lap. I got in like a slew of YouTube videos there talking about how we should ban cars and how, you know, everything is so car dependent that they are a menace to society, and I don't think it's the whole picture. Obviously cars aren't great for the environment, but neither are so many things we use in our daily life. And in order to make those changes that are suggested, we gotta like radically change how we live our lives. 111, 112, 2. Now let's try to get without a wall tap. There we go. 7.9 first sector. Such a short first sector. I think there's some F1 tracks where the last sector is like 1 or 2 corners. Isn't Monza Sector 1 just the first chicane? And then, there was a track that was driven not too long ago where the last sector is just one turn. I can't remember what it was though. Yeah, they use the bikes more than cars. Yeah, 2018 to present, not really good for gearheads because, well, they don't... Every, like, sports car is pretty much electric or has a V6 or something that just is underpowered. 7.7 first sector. Try to not tap the wall in the middle sector. And, you know, you have the Tesla Model S Plaid, which, you know, has insane acceleration, but it's a Model S, and it's not exactly the best looking car out there. And then it brings all the smug Elon Musk stands on Twitter to, like, you know, throw a fit and show their superiority over sipping over a billionaire. I don't know. The world is weird. Speed for the jump. Alright, this lap was good. Let's see what it was. Yeah, Tesla's a cult. It's crazy how Tesla people are like, oh, we're so good for the environment and stuff. Meanwhile, you know, Elon has his billions that they all complain about. Then they say tax the rich and stuff. Meanwhile, you got Elon, who's, I think, the richest person in existence. So, just saying. Just saying. I don't mean to politicize anything or anything like that, but, you know, come on. Not everybody has to be a car enthusiast, but not everybody also has to say completely outright ban something that's so important to our daily lives. It's not like overnight, our cities are going to change, and our culture is going to change, or crime's going to stop, stuff, you know. The world has so many atrocities that happen. It's really difficult to address all of them, let alone one at a time even. So, you know what I do? I play video games, because, well, it lets me forget about what's going on. And I do my part, I do what I can. You know, I carpool when I can. I don't dump. I throw away my trash in the proper places. Whoa. That's 7.9 first sector though. I don't think we'll get a 110.8 out of it, but that was pretty cool. Yeah, the possession of an ICE car is going to be outlawed at this rate, right? I mean, what they're probably going to do is they're just going to make gas ultra expensive. They're going to raise gas to a price where it's not worth driving a gas car. But then they're going to start charging for electricity, aren't they? It's been surprisingly quiet about charging, but someone's going to charge for it. Get it? Pun. Charge. Someone's going to charge you to charge your car. And then it's going to basically replace gas prices. Right? I don't know. One day I want to own a Ferrari F355, and I know the second I purchase it, it's going to become unusable or illegal or something in some way that lets me not get the full experience out of it. Because that's just how life works, doesn't it? Anyway, we did race 3. We put Smokey to bed. We had our thumbnail shot. I'm gonna leave it as is, even though that lip moment was cool. Price car time. Hey, we already have this car. Boo. So that means we won't get an Evo 7 until it's too late. Oops. Anyway, I guess we can look at our new car, even though we've already driven this before. And then that puts us at 60.3%, which is the end of the segment. Alright guys, we're going to do one more segment. We'll do one more. Just to finish off the dirt races. So, next segment, and since we got a duplicate car, we're going to use the only car we have that's rally that we haven't driven yet. I don't like this car, but, you know, sometimes when push comes to shove, you just don't have an Evo 7 at the right time. And we don't have an Evo 7, so that means we gotta drive this thing. So let's just slap our Stage 2 Turbo on. Oh, did I just not buy it? Oops. Let's just slap this on and just get this over with. I guarantee you the Evo 7 is gonna probably be from the Swiss Alps too. Well, I say guarantee and probably, that contradicts itself. Evo 7's probably going to appear in this race, and if you know or already know the answer, don't spoil it in chat, but it's Gran Turismo. These things happen. Will I sell any of my cars? I've already sold a couple, but I only sell if I'm pinched in money, and obviously we have a ton of money. Alright, y'all know the drill. We got ourselves a Celica rally car we're up against. This is going to be painful. 3, 5, and 7 laps in the dark. This is my least favorite track in all of GT3 because it is so dark. It is nearly impossible to see in some parts. I like when Gran Turismo changes the, the time of day, whatever, on the reverse tracks, but this track is way too dark on my display. And if I bumped up the display, if I bumped up the brightness, it would make the rest of the game look weird. There's just something wrong with this track. So, if it's a bunch of dark screen for you guys on stream, I am sorry, but this is what we're working with. That's what I see too. Especially the middle sector gets really dark. Like, where am I even going? Obviously I'm following the fences and I know this track off the back of my head, but like, come on, some of these parts are outright impossible to see. This section especially. Like, where am I going? Where am I going, guys? Where am I going? I'm following the trees. And you can only see like 40% of the track. It's not it's not that great. Yes, there's darker tracks in Gran Turismo, like Nürburgring at night is incredibly scary to drive. But that's because it's Nürburgring and it's meant to be like that. Maybe the game designers did, intend for this to be a dark track, but I don't know. The lights barely even work, honestly. The lights are just there for decoration. They aren't real lights. Like, look, my front lights aren't even illuminating anything. This is where the game will show its age a little bit, because the lights don't even work. Yeah, Latifi coming in from the back of the grid. He's gonna come in hot. He's gonna sweep the race, isn't he? And why did they make us a 357 on a track where it takes a minute and a half to get through? When Tahiti Rally, not the Mace, but the regular Tahiti, has about the same lap time, a little bit longer, but it's a 2-3-5 sequence. Like, come on. Alright. I think 6 laps would probably be appropriate, but not 7. So I think with this car, we've pretty much driven every rally car -1, and you all know what that one is, but... Yep. Max is going to claw all his way up the field. If it rains tomorrow, I wouldn't count him out for a podium. If it rains tomorrow, who knows? Anyone in the top 15 probably could get a podium with the right strategy. You saw how quick Seb was in Q1. He couldn't make it to Q2, but he's good in the rain. Watch out for Stroll. Watch out for Leclerc because he's got that fat engine in there. Alright, see you 12M. Thanks for stopping by. We got 2 races left. Is the rain all of a sudden cancelled? Or is the rain going to cancel the race? And Russell will get another automatic podium. I'm not even going to get my thumbnail shots. I'll just use that standing position as the thumbnail. Because it's so dark. It's so dark in that track. Alright, 12 laps to go on this. It's just getting through the pain. Yeah, man, they really had to throw 5 laps at that point. They're like, yep. So I'm putting on the Stage 2 Turbo, not because it's unfair, but because I just want to get through this race as quickly as I can. Sometimes Gran Turismo has those moments where you just want to get it over with and just send it through. And I'm guilty of, you know, hopping in the Escudo and just blazing through stuff, but that's mindless. But then again, this track is so awkward to drive that it is almost mindless. And the Celica is not as good as the Impreza was in the first iteration. Like, look, if I go into this first-person view, just for the humor, watch me go through this, like, right-hander in first-person view. Tell me what you see. I see the void. I'm only following the trees on the right, and that's how I know where I'm going. So that lap was a 120, which, to be fair, is quick. But come on, 5 laps. It could have been a 3, 4, 6 would have been acceptable. I think we're approaching our last 5-lap races. I know this is not the last 5-lap race, but I'm pretty sure we're running out of 5-lappers. Everything else after the Rally League, we have no more 5-lappers. These 5-lappers, say goodbye to them. Only arcade mode is the only time we'll see a 5-lapper again. We'll be happy to drive an arcade series after. Whoa, that's a tip. Electric GT3 cars, I don't know. It's gonna be scary when F1's inevitably pushed to a electric series. But then what's the point of Formula E? Or will F1 be outright cancelled? I don't want to think about that. Tip right there. That's my phone going off. I'm still a Snapchat boomer. You're not late, you're just in time for us to do it. We're on the last series, so this is what we're doing. See, Turbo's outside right now. Alright, just because I'm taking a break, but just for you, Steven, since you're here, I'm going to turn this camera and you're going to look all the way down. See him? There's Turbo, just chilling. First time, you guys haven't seen Turbo in a while, and he's just relaxing outside. It's my view, by the way, from where I game. But he's just chilling. He's thinking about coming inside, but he ain't. I don't know. He's just chilling. But he does that all the time. Where's naturally aspirated? I haven't had a dog named that yet. So there we go. I'll leave that in the video archive. But he's just chilling out there. There we go. I accidentally dropped into reverse gear for there. But yeah, I know you said you wanted to see Turbo, so there was your chance, so there you go. Wanna friends? You wanna? I try to do the touching index fingers. Friends, please. This is it's like a Tinder asking out sort of way. Yeah, I know what you're asking. I mean, around here, kind of like everybody's my friend. As long as you don't piss people off, you know, everyone's my friend. So, don't feel like you have to formally ask. But, you know, in the same way, I wouldn't say I'd officially declare a friend, because I wouldn't treat you any differently than how I do right now, you know, or like any other viewer, really. Alright, last lap. We just gotta get through this. Just don't choke it on the jump. Pretty easy race though, all things considered. There we go, race 2 done. 10,000 in the bag. We made a little bit of money overall, not too much though. Alright, 1 to go. Oh, 7 laps. Pain. Pain time. But this is the last race of the day, so you know what? Let's get this over with. 7 laps to go of the dirt tracks, and then I don't have to drive this track again, because I think we already did the arcade version of this. And I don't have to touch this stupid track ever again. Although I think Swiss Alps is in GT4, so I wouldn't say ever again, but this version of the track, definitely not. PvP bro, welcome back. How's life? Life's pretty chill. Just got paid yesterday, so I'm gonna go out shopping today. Be a consumer. The Zoomer consumer. But, yeah. Life's pretty chill right now. We are just blazing through Rally League. Just crunching through this game. It may seem like we're closing up because all we have left is professional endurance, but there's so much driving left to do. You guys don't even know yet. It's gonna get bad. So, the rest of the IB races won't be terrible. They'll be pretty bearable. Progress will be a little slow, but it won't be awful. But once we get to IA, this game slugs. Like, really bad. Thankfully, there aren't too many numbered IA events, but there's enough to be annoying and add 20 plus hours to the game. And then the super license, that's gonna take forever. I still have no idea how I'm gonna handle the super license. I might just stream what I can and record on my own time. I did want to fully stream this game. I might do streams at weird times just so I can chug through the series. But I don't know. I want to finish the game 100% before GT7 comes out. Whoa, I accidentally punted the rail. So I didn't see it. I think the first time that I've hit the rail. So oops. But we didn't lose the lead, so I was still good. So now that Celica's a bit closer. I'm gonna buy Horizon 5, I definitely will. I just don't know if I'm gonna buy it on launch day or I'll wait till Black Friday. I'm probably gonna wait to see if it runs well on PC. It probably will, but I will wait and then, you know, buy it when I can. I'll probably just buy the standard version. When I got Horizon 4, I got the Ultimate Edition, and you know, some of the benefits were nice, but you know, nowadays all the games just updated. I still don't know why Horizon's going with paid DLC and $40 worth of it, that is, but on Windows Store or Steam. I was thinking Steam, but the Windows Store version I might be able to also play on Xbox, and my brother has the Xbox One. If I could buy the Windows Store version and it's compatible on the Xbox One, but the Steam version is not compatible on Xbox One, then that's my decision. But, you know, I'm sure my brother wants to play Horizon 5. I don't know. I gotta talk to him because one of us is gonna end up buying it. And however that happens, I don't know. I'll probably end up buying it so that I can play it on PC and he can play it on Xbox. Just the money moves, right? You could also just do Game Pass, yeah. But Game Pass is $15 a month for the Ultimate. And for 4 months that's $60, which is just the cost of the game. So I'd rather just buy the game and then own it for longer than 4 months. I understand Game Pass has a ton more games, but like, I really don't have time to sit down and play the whole library of Xbox games, so. And I know that Forza especially, they love to close their games down pretty quick. Only after a few years. And I know the disc will probably be better. I haven't bought a Forza disc since Horizon 3. I should probably find a Horizon 4 disc at some point so I can, you know, still play it. Oh, you can get that $1 Game Pass deal? That's true. Celica's coming in hot. He's caught up because I tapped the wall a little bit. I was less than a second away from me. After this one, he passed me. Yeah, Xbox, I know every game nowadays is getting delisted like crazy, but Forza is really getting mistreated, the legacy Forza games. Like, I think after this year, Motorsport 7 is going to be delisted. And then we'll be in this awkward period where there are no Forza Motorsport games on the market at all. That is going to be incredibly weird. There will be no Forza Motorsports at all. And yeah, right now we have Forza Horizon 4, but it's probably going to get taken down, like, next year. Just like how all the other Horizons and Motorsports have fallen. It's a shame with the DLC. I don't know what's the progress on the modding scene, but Forza Motorsport 4 has a ton of DLC that, you know, I didn't buy back then. I only have the Porsche expansion and the Mazda Senate MV individually, and I never really experienced the other DLC. And I don't know if anybody's modded the game to have all the DLC. You might need a JTAG Xbox, but honestly I have no clue. I have no clue. I haven't done much research into it, so I could be wrong, but we're going to take this wide. Cut in. Do our slides. Yeah, Horizon 1 I still think is one of the best Forza games ever made. And people like to slap on it for missing a lot of features, but it laid the framework for a great game. And it's also the only Horizon game with a real plot. Like, a real plot. We're finally done with Swiss Alps. Oh my god, finally. Finally. I hate this track. 9 minutes, that felt like an hour, honestly. But there you go. 20,000 credits. Give me all of that. I'm just gonna use this as my thumbnail and just blow up the brightness in Photoshop. Alright, what's our prize car? I bet it's an Evo 7. Oh boy, I recognize that wing. Yep, just when I don't need any more dirt races, they give me an Evo 7. Perfect. Perfect. Alright. I know we have 2 more left, but these are going to be interesting. I will explain that when we get there next week. Okay, well, we have the EVO 7, but we ran out of dirt races to use it in. Yep, the EVO 7 rally car prototype, 301 horsepower. I think it's the fastest rally car, just straight up. So, yep. We are at 60.8%, so 3/5 of the way there. But believe me, that mileage is going to go way up. Way, way up. I realized I missed car number 69. Oops. Oh well. And, that means we have to sell one, right? Alright. Well, that's the end of the segment. 199 wins, too. Just barely off of that. Alright, let's save the game. Alright. Well, that's gonna be the end of, my grinding today. We got a lot of progress done. Today was going to be a rally only stream, like I said, and that's what we're doing. So, yep, we saved it, so that's just going to be it. Done with all the dirt races. Next week we'll finish it, and then I think I'll do another arcade section, and then we'll start Professional League. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. You know, stay safe. As always, and I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.